This is officially the deadliest spider in the world in terms of its venom.
The ant eventually dies, and the fungus blooms out of its head.
Piranha can strip a fish to the bone in minutes.
Deep in the heart of the Amazon rainforest, new discoveries have sent chills down the spines of scientists. What could it be? Why is it so frightening? And what does it mean for the future of Amazon? Are you ready? Because what comes next might just leave you speechless. Let's dive in. Number 1. Venomous wandering spider. Wandering spiders, part of the Cannibal family, are famous for including the Brazilian wandering spiders. These creepy crawlies have a unique pattern on the back of their oval-shaped body, something they share with another spider family called Amaurobidae. But don't let that fool you. These guys are aggressive, venomous, and they hunt at night.
This is officially the deadliest spider in the world in terms of its venom.
What do they go after? Well, even frogs aren't safe from them. Now, while some of these spiders have a reputation for being dangerous, only a few have venom that can actually harm humans. Like and subscribe right now, and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week. Surprising, isn't it? But we don't know much about their venom yet. So, when it comes to the bigger ones, why take the risk? Number 2. Green Anaconda. The green anaconda is the heaviest snake in the world, reaching up to 25 feet long and weighing over 300 pounds. Because of its massive size, this snake spends most of its time in or around water. Why? The water helps support its weight, and its green color makes it super easy to hide in the plants while waiting for its next meal. What's its favorite snack? The capybara. These guys are the largest rodents in the world, weighing over 100 pounds. They love hanging around water, which makes them the perfect target for a hungry anaconda. So, how does it hunt? The anaconda sneaks up underwater, staying completely hidden until the time is right. Then it strikes, biting down with 6 rows of sharp teeth and wrapping its entire body around the capybara. There's no escape. Unlike venomous snakes, anacondas kill by squeezing. The pressure is so intense, it stops the blood from flowing to the heart, causing a heart attack. And then comes the wild part. It swallows its prey whole. Yes, you heard that right, toes and all. Thanks to its stretchy mouth and flexible joints, the anaconda can eat animals way bigger than its head.
The middle of the anaconda's upper jaw are 2 rows of backward-pointing teeth, biting into prey and helping move the snake's head up and over its meal.
After a meal this big, the anaconda is in no rush to hunt again. It will digest the capybara for weeks, maybe even months, before it needs to eat again. But when it does, you can bet the hunt will be just as epic. Number 3. Cayman. The cayman, a close relative of the alligator, has its own cool differences. It is part of the Alligatoridae family and is native to Central and South America. It hangs out in marshes, swamps, lakes, and mangrove rivers. Caymans are generally on the smaller side compared to other crocodilians, weighing between 13 to 88 pounds, depending on the species. But the black cayman is a massive exception. These beasts can grow over 13 feet long and weigh more than 1,000 pounds. That's right, it's the largest cayman species and lives in the slow-moving rivers and lakes of the Amazon basin. On the flip side, the smallest species is Cuvier's dwarf cayman, which maxes out at about 5 feet. And what sets them apart from alligators? For one, they don't have a bony divider between their nostrils. They've got special armor on their bellies made of tough, overlapping bone, and their teeth are longer and sharper. Also, the caymans are more agile, kind of like the crocodile's sneaky cousin. Their tough, calcium-packed scales make their hides pretty stiff. So, if you ever thought about wrestling one, it will probably not be your best idea because you would be dealing with some serious armor. Number 4. Electric eel. Electric eels are a type of freshwater fish found in South America. They belong to a group of fish that can produce electricity to stun their prey, delivering shocks of up to 860 volts, enough to really pack a punch. Their electrical power was first studied way back in 1775 and actually helped inspire the invention of the electric battery in 1800. Even though they are called electric eels, they're not really eels at all. They're more closely related to knifefish and catfish. For a long time, people thought there was only one species of electric eel. But in 2019, scientists discovered there are actually 3 different species. These fish are nocturnal, meaning they're most active at night. They also need to come up to the surface to breathe air and have pretty bad eyesight. But they don't need to see well because they use electricity to sense their surroundings, a skill called electrolocation.
A recent research expedition in the Amazon discovered that electric eels actually hunt in large packs and work together to deliver a supercharged bolt of energy to attack and disable their prey.
Their main food? Fish. Electric eels keep growing throughout their lives, adding more bones to their spine as they age. And in case you're wondering, the males tend to grow larger than the female. So, what do you think? Would you want to come face to face with one of these electric powerhouses? Number 5. Zombie fungus. You have probably seen zombies in movies, right? But did you know there's a real-life fungus that can turn ants into zombies? I know it's wild. This fungus is called Ophiocordyceps, but most people just call it the zombie fungus. So, what happens? When an ant steps on the spores of this fungus, it sneaks into the ant's body and it secretly injects one of its cells into the ant. Over the next few days, the fungus slowly starts eating the ant from the inside. The ant might look totally fine on the outside like nothing's wrong, but inside, the fungus is multiplying like crazy, and soon, it takes over almost half of the ant's body. Now, once the fungus has grown enough, it sends out chemical signals to the ant's brain. And guess what? The ant starts acting super weird. It leaves its nest, starts wandering aimlessly, and eventually climbs up a plant. Why? The fungus makes it bite down on a leaf about 25 centimeters high, a spot that's perfect for the fungus to keep growing. At this point, the fungus is fully in control of the ant's brain. The poor ant can't move on its own anymore and stays stuck to the leaf. In just 6 hours, the ant died, but its body stays there, clinging to the plant. And then 2 days later, something even more disturbing happens. A white stalk grows out of the ant's dead body. The fungus has found its perfect home, and now it starts releasing spores into the air, looking to infect more insects and turn them into zombies too. But here's some good news so far. No fungus like this exists for humans. At least not yet. Well, if it did, zombie movies wouldn't just be for fun. They'd be real life. Number 6. Cannibal. The Amazon rainforest, known as one of the most biodiverse places on our planet, is home to various cannibals. For cannibals, consuming the flesh of their enemies connects them with their ancestors or allows them to absorb the strength and spirit of the deceased. Take the Tupinamba tribe, for example. They are famous for their historical connection to cannibalism, often described as fierce warriors who would capture their enemies and consume them in elaborate ceremonies. Why did they do this? Well, it was a way to seek revenge and show their strength. But that's not the only story here. The Yanomami tribe has its own unique take on this practice. While they don't consume enemies, they are known to eat the flesh of their deceased relatives during funerary rites to honor them. However, the arrival of outsiders like missionaries and explorers has dramatically affected these tribes and their traditional practices. They often face pressure to abandon their ritual. And let's not forget how popular media sometimes exaggerates these stories. Number 7. Bioluminescent Mushroom. Bioluminescence is an incredible ability some living organisms have to create and emit light. Among mushrooms, there are actually several species that can do this. When you first see these mushrooms in normal light, they might look pretty ordinary, just small and pale, but wait until you turn off the lights. That's when they truly start to glow. So, what's happening here? Well, inside the mushroom, there's a molecule called luciferin that reacts with oxygen. Plus, there's an enzyme called luciferase that speeds up this reaction. This process produces energy that excites the electrons in the luciferin molecule. When those electrons chill out and return to their normal state, they release that extra energy as light. And the light produced by these mushrooms is way more efficient than the light from a regular light bulb. A light bulb shines because it gets really hot, right? But these mushrooms, they don't heat up at all. Almost all the energy they produce turns into light, which is why it's often called cold light. Now, if you ever find a glowing mushroom, be sure to snap a pic and share it with me. Number 8. Unknown cryptid. Cryptids are mysterious animals that some people, known as cryptozoologists, say they have found in the Amazon forest. Despite numerous claims, there's still a lot of debate around whether these creatures truly exist, but science hasn't actually confirmed they exist. Cryptozoology is a field that mainstream science doesn't really take seriously because it relies more on stories, legends, and unproven claims. However, in an interesting twist, recently, some scientists have also discovered these species in the Amazon jungle. Now, cryptozoologists are out there hunting for creatures like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, or even the Yeti. Could they be real? Who knows? Number 9. Centipede. Centipedes are scary crawlies with lots of legs, but despite their name, they don't actually have exactly 100 legs. The number of legs they have varies depending on the species, ranging anywhere from 30 to 382 legs, but it's always an odd number. They belong to a group of animals called arthropods, and they're related to millipedes and other critters with tons of legs. Centipedes are predators, meaning they hunt and eat other small animals. They are venomous and can deliver painful bites through special pincer-like parts called forcipules, which are actually modified legs. Their venom helps them overpower their prey.
Among its favorite prey are spiders, birds, rodents, frogs, and lizards.
You can find centipedes all over the world, from rainforests to deserts. But no matter where they live, they need to stay in damp places because they lose water really fast. That's why you'll usually find them hiding under rocks, leaves, or logs. And they often come out at night to avoid drying out in the sun. So, if you ever spot one fleeing around, just remember they're more interested in hunting small prey than bothering you. Number 10. Piranha swarms. Piranhas are known for their sharp teeth and powerful bite. They're found in the rivers, lakes, and floodplains of South America and belong to the Serrasalmidae family. While their fearsome reputation paints them as dangerous predators, there's more to these fish than meets the eye. But did you know that piranhas aren't just meat eaters? Yes, they are actually omnivores, meaning they munch on plants too. I guess you could say they're the ultimate foodies of the river. So, who's ready to dig into some piranha facts? Not me. They might bite back. Number 11. Poisonous frog. Poison dart frogs, also called dart poison frogs or simply poison frogs, are fascinating little creatures found in the tropical regions of Central and South America. They're famous for their bright colors, which serve a special purpose. These vivid hues warn other animals that they are toxic. Pretty smart, right? But their toxicity actually comes from what they eat. These frogs mainly snack on ants, mites, and termites. Some species are super colorful and super toxic, while others that eat a wider range of food might not be as bright and are less harmful. Now, many of these frogs are in danger because human activities are destroying their habitats. So why are they called dart frogs? It's because indigenous people in South America use their toxic skin secretions to poison the tips of blow darts. But out of over 170 species, only 4 are known to be used for this purpose. Well, if you're ever in the rainforest, just admire them from a distance, because these frogs are not friendly. Number 12. Spider with a huge web. Just like a real-life spider woman, this tiny spider sprays silk in one long, continuous stream. The silk spreads out like a sail, catching the breeze as it floats over the water. Every few seconds, she pinches the threads together so they don't spread too far, and the wind also helps guide them into a perfect line. Before long, she built a 25-meter bridge across the water. But hold on, she's not done yet. She still needs to make it stronger because her web will hang from this bridge. With the tiny hooks at the tips of her legs, she pulls in the thread. And don't worry, nothing goes to waste. She'll eat it later. After gathering the silk, she sprays out another 25-meter line. But how does a spider, no bigger than a thumbnail, manage to produce so much silk so quickly? Scientists are still baffled. And this isn't just any silk, it's the strongest natural fiber on Earth. Number 13. Goliath bird eater. Meet the Goliath bird eater, also known as the Goliath tarantula, the largest spider in the world by both weight and body size. Found in northern South America, this massive spider can weigh up to 175 grams, or about 6.2 ounces, and grow up to 13 centimeters, or 5 inches, in body length. But while it's the heaviest and biggest spider in terms of body size, there's another spider, the giant huntsman, that beats it in leg span. So, who's scarier, the one with the bulk or the one with the longer leg? You might also hear it called the Goliath bird-eating spider, but it doesn't actually go after birds very often. So, why the name? It comes from a 1700s illustration that showed one of these spiders eating a hummingbird. So, bird eating? Not really, but still, I wouldn't want to meet one in the wild. Number 14. Boiling River. Researcher Andres Russo found a river in the Mayan rainforest that was so hot that animals in it were literally boiling alive. Out of curiosity, Russo started asking the locals about it. He learned from the Ashaninka tribe that they call this steaming river Shanet Pishka, which means heated by the sun. But the tribe has known about this unusual river for ages and even sees it as sacred. They believe a giant snake lives at the bottom of the river, heating the water with its hot breath. The Shanet Pishka River is about 5.6 miles long, and its water can reach temperatures from 113 degrees all the way to a boiling 212 degrees. Russo dedicated 5 years to studying this boiling wonder. What did he find? Beneath the river, there's molten magma, super hot rock, heating the water to these crazy temperatures. But that's not all. He also discovered new types of tiny organisms living in the river, and these little guys can survive in such extreme conditions. Now, my next adventure is finding a boiling river and seeing how close I can get. Just kidding. Number 15. Humpback Whale. The humpback whale is a fascinating type of baleen whale and the only one in its genus. These incredible creatures can grow between 14 to 17 meters long, that's about 46 to 56 feet, and can weigh up to 40 metric tons. One of the most important features of humpbacks is their unique body shape, complete with long pectoral fins and distinctive bumps on their heads. They are famous for their spectacular jumps out of the water and other cool behaviors that make them a hit with whale watchers. But finding one in the Amazon forest is just out of the ordinary. I mean, a giant marine animal in a forest just doesn't make sense. However, that's exactly what happened. On the island of Marajo, off Araruna Beach, Brazil, people found a 10-ton dead whale in the middle of the forest. It was actually a baby whale who somehow ended up on land and couldn't get out of there, which ultimately led to its death. But still, it's quite a discovery. Number 16. Walking Palm. Socratia exoriza, also known as the walking palm or cachapona, is a type of palm tree found in the rainforests of Central and South America. This palm can grow quite tall, reaching up to 25 meters, but it's more commonly around 15 to 20 meters tall, with a trunk that's about 12 to 16 centimeters wide. But what's the story of these walking palm trees? Well, the story of the walking palm has been passed down by rainforest guides for years. It was first scientifically suggested by John H. Bodley in 1980, who reported that these palms can walk away from danger if another tree falls on them. More recently, paleobiologist Peter Vasansky claimed to have witnessed this, but some scientists think it's a myth. For example, biologist Gerardo de Alès studied the walking palm and said its roots don't actually move, so why the confusion? Walking palms have roots that grow above ground, unlike most trees that keep their roots hidden. As soil erodes, older roots die and new ones grow, which is how they manage to walk. So, whether they actually walk or not, these trees sure know how to adapt and thrive. Number 17. Mata-mata. Mata-mata turtle. A really strange turtle that lives in the Amazon. Now this turtle is different from most because it doesn't have jaws, a beak, or teeth. Instead, its mouth looks a lot like a mailbox, and that's part of its secret. This turtle is a master of disguise. It can blend into its surroundings so well that it's hard to even spot where its head is. Those weird bumpy things on its back might look like algae or twigs, but they help it look like part of the plants on the riverbed. When it's ready to hunt, the mata-mata turtle waits quietly and patiently until it spots a school of small fish called cardinal tetras. Its odd looks and slow movements help it sneak up on them, without being noticed. Once the turtle gets close enough, it doesn't hold back. It opens its mouth wide and sucks in the fish like a vacuum cleaner, and the fish have no idea what's happening until it's too late. When the turtle sucks in water to catch its prey, it also gets the fish. But before it swallows, it pushes out the water by barely opening its lips. This cool way of eating helps it enjoy its meals, just like sushi. Number 18. Pink dolphins. The Amazon River dolphin, also known as the Boto bufeo or the pink river dolphin. This unique dolphin calls the rivers of South America its home. So, how big are these dolphins? The Amazon River dolphin is the largest river dolphin out there. Adult males can weigh up to 185 kilograms and measure around 2.5 meters long, and they're famous for their pink color, especially the males, which is how they get their nickname, the pink river dolphin. Males are usually bigger and heavier than females, being about 16% longer and 55% heavier. Now let's talk about what these dolphins eat. They have a really diverse diet, munching on about 53 different types of fish, including croakers, catfish, tetras, and even piranhas. Can you guess what else they like to eat? They also enjoy river turtles, frogs, and freshwater crabs. But the Amazon River dolphin is currently considered endangered. Their population is declining due to some serious threats, like getting caught in fishing nets, being hunted for bait, pollution, damming rivers, and habitat loss from human activity. But let's just hope that we can help these cuties stick around. Number 19. Lost City of the Amazon. Now the second last entry is of researchers discovering some amazing ruins using a cool technology called LiDAR, which maps the land from about 650 feet up. And guess what? They found pyramids. Based on the LiDAR mapping, two important things were revealed about these ruins. They belong to the Qasr Ab culture, which thrived between 500 and 1400 AD, and they were much more advanced than we ever thought. So, what does this say about the people who lived there? Well, famous archaeologist Barty Meggs believed that the Amazon couldn't support a large population and that it was only home to primitive tribes. But this discovery changes everything. The people of the Amazon had built a successful civilization with complex building, including pyramids and canal. But the ruins aren't just along the rivers. Some are far inland, and to make sure they had enough water, the people built canals and roads. But how did such an advanced civilization disappear? Some people think volcanic eruptions destroyed their society, while others believe the arrival of Europeans in the 16th century brought diseases that wiped out most of the local population. With many survivors, it's likely they spread out or isolated themselves, which led to the eventual end of this incredible civilization. I know history is full of surprises, but this one's definitely a showstopper. Number 20. Jesus lizards. Now this last reptile may look like an ordinary lizard, but it's capable of something that many would define as miraculous. In the blink of an eye, it takes off, sprinting across the surface of the water. But what makes this little creature so special? Living in the wilds of Central and South America, these real-life basilisks are not exactly the kings of the jungle. They tend to stay motionless, blending in with the brown branches or the deep green leaves. This approach helps them avoid predators like large birds, snakes, and fish. But when they're threatened, their escape plan is nothing short of astounding. So how does it work? When the basilisk lizard gets scared, its back legs start moving really fast, helping it run across the water. It can jump up to 15 feet, which is more than 10 times its own length, all in just 1 second. Because of this amazing skill, people call it the Jesus Christ lizard. Well, this little reptile really knows how to make a getaway. And that was it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon to get all our videos on time. Until next time,